me see, my mic is on. I'm seeing on social media, um, white people calling for blacks, and I guess Hispanics as well, to get in the streets and march. They claim all over the country they're going to march in regards or protest against the Trump administration and what they're doing, things such as Doge and DEI. And it's just funny how black people can be so damn stupid and gullible. They don't get all the facts of certain situations that play themselves out in this country. They don't get all the facts. I'm not saying I have all the facts, but certain things are just simple and right in your face to believe or understand, rather. Like, for example, they under this thing that DEI is gonna put black people back in slavery, and you're gonna have two water fountains, one for colored and one for whites. People have gone this far. I've seen that on social media. People have gone this far to claim that we're gonna go back into slavery because of Trump. This is how stupid people are. And black people just tend to be so over the top and emotional, so over the top and emotional. It's just pathetic at times. And then in my research, and not even deep research, what keeps popping up is that DEI mainly benefits white women. It mainly affects white women, or it's beneficial for white women. That's what I keep seeing here and there. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. Or it hasn't been really proven a lot of the things that they are saying as far as us going back into slavery. I'm not saying that white people don't have their ways of putting their evils into action. You understand what I'm saying? But a lot of things is just make believe. Look at this, what I found. It says, studies suggest that white women have disproportionately benefited from corporate DEI efforts, while all women, including white women, are still underrepresented in the workplace. I could give two SHs in the first place, because the whole system is just so rotten and corrupt, and that's been proven through Doge, that you got to be an absolute idiot to believe everything that's pumped through social media or the media in general, man. It makes no sense to be this damn stupid. White women are often the first to benefit from DEI. Not to say black women and black men haven't benefited from it, but just like the women's rights movement, that mainly benefited white women, but black women jumped on the bandwagon. And look at your situation today, 50 some odd years later. Broken homes, can't keep a man, then you raise boys instead of men. Our community, our people are in shambles because you want to be with the white race, or be the white woman, or get the benefits of the white women from men who live in an oppressive, wicked society. You just won't get that. You just won't get that. But I'm just trying to show you that sometimes you have to do deeper researches and find out the facts and turn off your emotions. White women are often the first to benefit from DEI and affirmative action programs. I believe that to a large extent. I believe that. So now they are calling for black people once again, and it's going to be mainly women, to get in the streets and protest Doge and protest Trump. You won't catch me doing that stupidness, But look, right here, it says social media calls for black people to stay home on National Day of April 5th. I wonder how many white people stay home for Martin Luther King's Day. I wonder. I'm very curious how many white people stay home for Dr. Martin Luther King's that which is a federal holiday now. Some states didn't even want to push that as a federal holiday. You're just dumb people, man. I hate to say it. We are some dumb ass people. And I taunt people on these issues just to get a rise out of them, just to see how stupid they are. Just to see how stupid they are. See what this says. Black folks on social media are warning Black Americans not to participate in an upcoming global protest against the Trump administration and Elon Musk. And that's good. It's true. Let these devils fight this thing out for themselves. This has nothing to do with you for the larger point, on a larger scale. Now, if you on federally some type of federal program that pays your rent and gives you food stamps, and you've been on this for decades, and you refuse to work, then that's on you, because you're at a point where Black people don't feel sorry for you, and I don't feel sorry for you, because if I can work, there are a lot of Black people who are collecting money from the federal government, meaning my taxes, as well as other working Black men and Hispanic men who work and pay taxes. You benefit from our taxes. You can work. You can work, some of you, a lot of you, and this is what he's attacking. He's saying if you're an able body and you can work, you should work. And he's going to rig it, this new system, in such a way to catch you if you're just a leech. If you're just a leech, and I find that very fair. I'm twice the age of a lot of working people who are able to work and who sit on their asses and don't work. You scamming the system, and that's a waste of money. And this is what they find it out. A lot of these people are protesting because they've been caught stealing money. A lot of the programs are unnecessary. And social media and the left has people thinking that Trump is shutting down the Department of Education, just totally shutting it down. That's not true. He's saying that initially, the states dealt with the Board of Ed, and he wants to put it back there. He wants to put the Board of Ed in the hands of each state and then divvy out money, federal money, to each state to handle its Board of Ed. In the current situation, or the current system, the Board of Ed ran by the feds, he's saying that there's a lot of waste there. And I believe that, because none of the left, none of the Democrats are challenging the wasteful spending. They're not even mentioning it. Look at what Kennedy's saying. I'm going to show you something real quick. And I find this 100% true. They are not challenging what this man is doing. I mean, meaning Elon Musk. But they're going to have Black people running the streets, protesting. You're idiots if you do that. You should stay home. Let these devils fight this thing out among themselves. They've been stealing and robbing, both sides. Stealing and robbing since day one. Since day one. Check out what Kennedy's saying here. Check this out.
Kennedy stands up for Elon Musk and the work that Doge is doing in front of the entire Congress, and he leaves everybody speechless. You guys gotta check this out.
I want to try to put in perspective what many of my Democratic friends have been talking about today. They're very, very, very upset at President Trump.
And not just him, they have run a damn witchcraft magic on the minds of the people watching CNN and leftist type media. This is fascinating. The way people think in this country is absolutely fascinating. Same thing with RFK. He wants to pull soda off of food stamps. In other words, you have to pay for that sugar, fructose corn sugar, that you're destroying your bodies with. You have to pay for red tropical chemical poison that you're feeding to your children for breakfast. You have Black households that have soda for breakfast. Not OJ or orange juice or pineapple juice or cherry juice, but soda. So he's going to make it very difficult for you to destroy yourselves. And the same products that's loaded with chemicals and red dyes and sugars and fructose corn syrup You have other countries that sell the same products without that garbage in them. It's unlawful for people in other countries. It's unlawful for people in other countries to eat what you eat. What you consume is unlawful in other countries. Look this stuff up. But they have you believe that these dudes like Elon and RFK and the administration, the Trump administration, the current administration, is not finding wasteful spending or thievery. Makes no difference to me. I'm a man of the Most High. I hope it crumbles. I hope it falls. So it makes absolutely no difference to me. Either way, I win if I stay in the spirit of the Most High, as well as a lot of you brothers and sisters. And I'm not making this into a racial thing because a lot of white people see what the hell is going on. The country's divided, but a lot of it is based on stupidity. But let's hear what this man is saying. Sorry to interrupt. Let's see what this man is saying.
And they're very, very, very upset at Elon Musk. President Trump ran for president on a number of issues. One of the issues he ran on, he said it almost every day. He said, if you elect me president, I'm going to go through the entire budget and review all the spending, line by line. If I heard him say it once, I heard him say it 1,000 times. And that's what he's been doing. He went out and appointed, through an executive order, Elon Musk, who some people like him, some don't, but he's not a dummy. He's a very successful business person. He's got a top.
This is what happens to you.
Oh, man. My apologies on that. Should have known. YouTube is ridiculous. These commercials are getting longer and longer, and they think they're going to get somebody to buy a channel without any commercials. Let's hear what he's saying now.
Executive order, and he turned to Mr. Musk, and he said, Mr. Musk, I want you to do for me what I said I was going to do in the election. I want you to go through all the spending, line by line. Now, let me ask you something, Mr. President. How are you going to review the spending without reviewing the spending? How are you going to audit the spending by an agency without auditing the agency? That's what I mean when I say common sense is illegal in Washington, D.C. That's what Mr. Musk is doing. He's put together a crackerjack team, and they're going through everybody's spending line by line, item by item. And my Democratic colleagues are very, very, very upset. And they've been very eloquent. They've talked about the process, and President Trump's executive order supposedly violates the Constitution. And they've accused Mr. Musk of having conflicts of interest. And so I've heard people say he's sitting over there with a notepad, copying down everybody's Social Security number, and he's going to go use it to make money. I mean, people in this town, not just my Democratic colleagues, they're really upset. They've never said anybody question their spending. But that's what Mr. Musk is doing. But you know what? I've listened. This has been going on for a week. People have been screaming like they're part of a prison riot. Oh, my God, look at what Musk is doing. He's looking at the spending. And I've listened to people talk about the process and debate whether it's constitutional and discuss how many lawyers can dance on the head of a pin. But you know what? I haven't heard one single person who's upset with President Trump or Mr. Musk talk about what he's found. They don't want to talk about the spending porn, the waste of taxpayer money that he's found.
It's always the money, people. It is always the money. In this country, money is God. Just like those protests at Columbia. The minute Trump said, if you continue to do what you're doing, you will not receive $4 million from the federal government. Protest pretty much over. I heard they're back out there again, but pretty much protest is over. These people who have green cards and attend Columbia, the moment the threat of them losing their visas was put on the chopping block, people straightened up because money talks. You don't hear anything about some form of challenge in regards of what Elon Musk has found. And the money, the waste, and the theft of money, they will not challenge this thing. They just keep talking about invasion of privacy, shutting down A, B, and C. But the challenge and to go through what's being spent with a fine tooth comb, they will not do this thing. And they have you believing that the world is at its end because of Elon Musk. You're very dumb people. They are stealing money. They keep saying misuse of funds. I say stealing money. They're stealing money. I'm not saying certain funds are not being misused, but I'm mainly focused on what has been stolen, because if something has been stolen, they should go to jail. Someone should go to jail. They tried to put Trump in jail. If me or you do something illegal in regards of theft, we go to jail. We go to jail. So to cry and shout and hoop and holler and not follow the money, or not expound or talk or focus or research where this money has been going, is foolishness. The money that was sent to the Ukraine, how much of that money can be found? Where can we see how that money was spent, and whose pockets did that money really go into? The money that they claim went to the migrants, what portion of money actually went to the migrants in New York City, Chicago, Philadelphia, the United States? These guys are thieves, and the country is divided because they are thieves. And you got idiots that's going to march and burn down stuff in this country because they're controlled like zombie robots.
I mean, that's the point of all this. I tell you who is interested: the American people, the people in America who get up every day and go to work and obey the law and pay their taxes and try to educate their kids and try to do the right thing by their kids and try to save a little money for retirement, and have had to live through 20% inflation under President Biden. They understand what Musk is doing. They understand spending porn.
Whatever happened to the laptop from hell? Biden's son's laptop from hell. Whatever happened to the under the table deals that they were doing with the Ukraine and various countries like China? What happened to all that? They're stealing. They're stealing. And I guarantee you this summer is going to be a rough summer, because what's going to happen, they are going to purposely cause chaos in the streets. This is all orchestrated. The Democrats, they ran on Trump is this, Trump is that. They still on Trump is this, Trump is that. Why aren't the Democrats talking about how to put more money in your pockets? Why aren't the Democrats talking about how to put more food on your tables? Why aren't the Democrats talking about better education for children? Because they are stealing this money, and they have been doing this for decades. And I'm not saying the right don't steal money. If you're smart, you know politicians are thieves, liars, and have a silver tongue. But listen to what this man is saying. Listen to what he's saying.
And wasting taxpayer money. Now, Mr. Musk started with the USAID. That handles a lot of foreign aid for America. American people are very generous. In our country, when you're homeless, we'll house you. When you're hungry, we'll feed you. In our country, when you're too poor to be sick, we'll pay for your doctor. And we send a lot of money overseas to help our world's neighbors. And the USAID is in charge, in large part, of that. But I'll tell you what Mr. Musk discovered. I find it fascinating. He discovered that the American taxpayers are giving money to Afghanistan. He found that we are giving money to Yemen. He found that we are giving money to Syria. I didn't know that. Some of our foreign aid is going to Yemen, Afghanistan, Syria.
Aren't all those countries enemies of America? Didn't Trump just bomb Yemen and the Houthis that were in Yemen? Didn't they just pull out of Afghanistan and left billions of dollars of equipment in Afghanistan? You see what a hoax this is? You see what a scam this whole thing is? Meanwhile, you can't even pay your rent. Meanwhile, you can't pay your mortgage. You can't put your kids through school. Even if you put them through school, there's no guarantee they're going to find work that's going to cover their bills. Then they flood the country with migrants and give them money and watch you starve and beg the government for more money. And then when they try to round up these same migrants, the dangerous ones at that, they get pushback. Pushback. But the federal dollar covers who? You or the migrants? Who pays for the migrants' education and their health? Who pays for the migrants that have a roof over their heads? The taxpayers. The taxpayers. Then the ones who get a free ride on welfare, they don't care. They're getting a free ride. They've been getting free rides for decades. You have people sitting on their asses on welfare and Section 8 for generations while you bust your ass to make ends meet generation after generation. You struggle to put your children through college. Meanwhile, you have people sucking the country dry financially, and you wonder why the country is doing as bad as it is. You wonder why people are crying in the streets. You wonder why you got psychos, mentally ill people wandering the streets of New York City, San Francisco, Philadelphia. I went to work Friday and I went to the bathroom and I watched them every morning, 5 a.m. The bathroom is packed. I'm not talking about a little bit of people, packed with homeless people with their shirts off, washing up in the basins, in the stalls, defecating what was left from last night in their stomachs and selling drugs. I come back 2 hours later, about 6 people are on the ground foaming at their mouth. 3 ambulances out there because someone sold them bad drugs this morning, that Friday morning actually. Something has got to give, and what's going to give is the country is going to bottom out, because I don't think Trump is going to last long. I think Trump is going to mysteriously die off, or there's going to be so much turmoil, he will not be able to fulfill everything he said he's going to do. The thing is, what are we going to do? The thing is, how are we going to survive? That's what's questionable. I purposely bait people into arguments over Trump. And you should hear the stupidity that comes out of their mouths, man. They actually think you're going to go right back into slavery. They actually believe what Barack Obama's wife said during the campaign. We are going to go back into slavery. You are some emotional people, man. Emotional. This is why, I applaud whoever put this article out about telling black folks to stay home. I applaud them. Black folks on social media are warning black Americans not to participate in an upcoming global protest against the Trump administration and Elon Musk. On Saturday, April 5th, thousands of people in the U.S. and around the world are preparing to protest Trump in what they are calling hands-off National Day action. Hands off what? Researching and finding out your money is being stolen? Hands off what? Dismantling the Board of Ed and letting New York take care of their Board of Ed, Virginia taking care of their Board of Ed, Philadelphia taking care of their Board of Ed, and seeing, is that more efficient than what's on the table now, where kids can't read beyond a 3rd grade level? You see the schools. The scriptures tell you in Proverbs 14, I believe it's 15, the simple believeth every word, but the wise, he checks things out. The prudent man, he's going to check things out. He don't believe everything he hears. This is absolutely crazy. Crazy. According to Third Act, one of the organizations that helped put together this massive protest, said the event is meant to stand up against those who believe they can take whatever they want. What do you mean take whatever they want? I thought the problem was people were taking and spending whatever they want. I thought the problem was money was just disappearing. I thought the problem was Afghanistan and countries that are America's enemies were receiving money. You just heard him say it. You heard this man say it, and you've been watching this for months. Take whatever they want. This is absolutely crazy. You heard what he just said. We'll go back again.
You're hungry, we'll feed you. In our country, when you're too poor to be sick, we'll pay for your doctor. And we send a lot of money overseas to help our world's neighbors. And the USAID is in charge in large part of that. But I'll tell you what Mr. Musk discovered. I find it fascinating. He discovered that the American taxpayers are giving money to Afghanistan. He found that we are giving money to Yemen. He found that we are giving money to Syria.
So what's wrong with taking back that money, or money that was in the kitty, going to those countries in the future, and looking into U.S. aid and finding out other wasteful spending practices and issuing out a $5,000 cut to every taxpayer in the country? How is that taking? This is insane.
I didn't know that. Some of our foreign aid is going to Yemen, Afghanistan, Syria. He found that the USAID has 10,000 people, employees. And every year they give away $40 billion. Mr. Musk also found, and I'm not saying that all of this money is wasteful. I'm not. Some of this money, I'm sure, does some good. That's why Secretary Rubio is going to.
Social media can't.
$40 billion. What? Some of it is not waste, but what portion of that 40 billion is waste? What portion of that 40 billion is stolen money?
The department to separate the good from the bad. But this is the kind of stuff Mr. Musk found. He found that the USAID gave money to support electric vehicles in Vietnam. Our money, taxpayer money. He found that USAID gave money to a transgender clinic in India. I didn't know that. I bet you the American people didn't know that. He found that USAID gave $1.5 million to a Serbian LGBTQ group called Grupa Izadaji. I probably mispronounced that. My apologies. Anyway, they got $1.5 million to, quote, advance diversity, equity, inclusion in Serbia's workplaces and business community. What else did Mr. Musk found that my colleagues don't want to talk about? Well, he reviewed a study and then went and checked it. The study was done by the Middle East Forum. They found that USAID spent $164 million to support.
It really does blow my mind how anyone in their right mind is upset with what Elon Musk is doing.
I agree 100%. And I'm not for the system. I don't vote. I agree 100%, man. But it's because people have been brainwashed because they're not watching all of the news. They're just watching left-sided news. They're just watching news from the Democrats. This is the problem. And they work your emotions. They work your emotions, man. They work your emotions. It's absolutely crazy. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to prove it. Look at this protest. Look at this protest. Check this out.
Sir, why are you shaking? What?
Because I have an adrenaline rush.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. Oh, she is surprised she can see MAGA. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't come too close to me, okay? You are a nasty woman. Nasty woman. Okay. He's not tolerant.
have at? Can we talk to you real quick?
Yes, maybe later, okay?
What's that?
Maybe later. Let us go around. Thank you. Let's go. So guys, I just want to tell you.
Unbelievable. What are they resisting? That's what I'm questioning. What are they resisting?
Let's go, guys. All right. Sir, so why are you holding an American flag, but you anti-American?
I'm not talking to you, man.
You're trying to close all the businesses.
No, I'm not talking to you, man.
You try to deport Elon Musk. You don't have the answer. Why are you so racist, ma'am? Why are you running away from me? Why are you running away? You don't want to...
People are so goddamn stupid. Bay Area protests join national takedown.
Elon Musk has got to go.
Today, protests against Tesla CEO Elon Musk and the Trump administration are happening all across the country. Hi there, and thanks for joining us. I'm Dion.
All over the damn country. All over the country. But I'm just showing you just how stupid people are. People are very, very stupid, man. They're very stupid.
Disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for
You
purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research.
People
Fair
get
use is a use permitted by
really
copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofits,
flustered
educational, or personal use
and
takes the
even
balance in favor of
violent
fair use.
because they have Trump derangement syndrome. So you have to be very careful, even though you're covering or you're revealing how stupid they really are. You have to be very careful because these people can be very dangerous. They can be very dangerous if you're not careful. And they will put hands on you. So be careful out there. But my point is, nobody should be this goddamn stupid, man. Nobody. Let's check this one out. Let's see what this one is about. I get a kick out of this.
On limb. Protest organizers are naming it Tesla Takedown and are calling it the biggest day of action yet. Those protests are going on outside Tesla showrooms, including multiple in the Bay Area. ABC7 News reporter Cornell Bernard has more from actions in San Francisco and the North and East Bay.
Crowd of hundreds lining Van Ness Avenue outside the Tesla showroom to send a message to owner Elon Musk.
We're here because of all the craziness that's been going on.
Won't talk about the money. All the craziness that's been going on. What is the craziness that's been going on? They say he's cutting funds and putting money in his own pockets to build up his own corporation. He's one of the richest men in the world. I'm not saying it's not possible that he could be a thief, but they never expound specifically on the craziness. They just say he's cutting this and that, but they can't prove that he's unjust in what he's cutting.
Like an assault on not just one group, but the American people as a whole.
The so-called Tesla takedown protests, part of a national day of action Saturday, targeting Tesla and Musk's role as the head of the newly created Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, and his purge of government agencies under President Trump.
My message is just that the behavior going on is
Let's see if she talks about the money.
just not okay.
Why isn't it okay? She will not get into specifics of why it's not okay.
And I'm mad.
So she's mad, but she's not expounding on why she's mad. He's cutting the Board of Ed. Why? Where's the money going? What about the money he found? They will not expound on that. They just brainwash monkeys following the media. You see?
And so I'm protesting.
And with these billionaires, there's really no way to get at their power than their pocketbook. Elon Musk's power is his Tesla stock. So we are getting at his Tesla stock, and we are making people aware that they need to boycott Tesla.
Our brother made a good point some weeks ago to me. While his stock drops, it's a good time to buy in when it's low. When it gets absolutely rock bottom, it's a good time to buy in, because when this foolishness alleviates and go in a different direction, that stock will go back up. That stock will go back up if the country doesn't crash. But that's a very good opportunity to buy in.
Says it's increasing security at all of its dealerships this weekend. Here at the San Francisco store, as you can see, All the cars have been moved out.
San Francisco police officers were nearby keeping an eye on the protest, but it remained peaceful. In the East Bay, a group of activists rallied outside the Tesla dealership in Walnut Creek. And in Marin County, this banner was unfurled over Highway 101.
I'm here to support veterans.
Demonstrators were outside Tesla in Corte Madera. Many are vets, concerned about DOJ's cuts to the Veterans Administration, which could impact services and health benefits.
That's interesting. I would like to see the details in that alone. If that's an issue, then I would like to see why it was cut. Is there wasteful spending? If people, or if there are people stealing money, so that would be worth looking into. But to be a damn fool and just go by your feelings and emotions, that's stupid. Check this one out. Let's see what this is saying.
Interesting. Trump protest planned for April 5th. Some black folk are saying, we're going to sit this one out. There it is.
1 million people are going to march in the United States on April 5th. 1 million people.
Sit your black ass down.
It's a bit of a jokey joke, but it's true though, man. Black people have no business getting involved in this thing, especially hardworking, blue collar, or even white collared black people, man. You have no business getting into this. You understand? I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care if you're independent. You have no business getting involved in this. Let this thing burn if it has to. Let this thing bottom out if it has to.
Now, black people, on April 5th, I have about 10 things that I need y'all to be doing. Let's start with it. Number 1, I need y'all to go to the beach and mop up the water. Yes, I do.
Sit your black ass down.
Number 2, I need y'all to open up your coffee seeds and count how many y'all have, okay? And let me know the number.
Sit your...
They said I'd lose my hair like...
I don't know what that is. It's kind of a jokey joke, but either way, I'm not going to stay long. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my Sunday off. What I am saying overall is be smart. Don't be a dummy. Be smart.
To be carried out by cops. Roughly 100 people arrested for storming the building, demanding the release of Mahmoud Khalil from immigration detention.
That's another situation. You are not going to go to a U.S. university on a visa and support a terrorist active terrorist organization that hates America and that hates Israel and think you're going to stay in this country. That's just absurd to believe that, or you're going to protest to get these people free and like as if nothing never happened. Then you carry Hamas flags on the campus. You're breaking and destroying property, and you're stopping people from going to class. You think that's going to fly? Come on. The beast is undefeated unless the Most High wills it. It's just not going to happen, man. You're not going to burn American flags, float Hamas flags, speak anti-Semitic, what they call Semitic slurs against the J people, and think you're going to get away with that. Now, I'm on the streets. I say things that are what they would view as anti-American, but I'm an American citizen. I'm an American citizen, and I'm not going to support a terrorist activity that bombs and kills people. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to preach the word of the Most High and stay in Scripture. But these guys are so spoiled and foolish, they think they can get away with just about anything. They think that. Check it out.
So a massive protest erupted right here at Trump Tower after ICE arrested a Columbia University student activist. And while the protesters claim this is a violation of free speech, the Trump administration is promising to revoke the visas and green cards.
You cannot have free speech to the level of what they're talking about, man. Come on. Come on. You can't step on other people's rights in the country that you're claiming you should have free speech on. You can't go in a movie theater and yell fire when there's no fire. It's free speech, but you can't do it. And these people are supposed to be educated. The future of America. Nobody can be this dumb.
Of non-citizen agitators who embrace views contrary to America's values, which means anyone who's a guest in this country while simultaneously hating it might not be here for that much longer.
At Trump Tower, it was the latest protest calling for the immediate release of Mahmoud Khalil, a pro-Palestinian activist and legal permanent resident, was arrested by Immigration and Customs Enforcement last week.
We have a right to express our opinions, but I refuse to allow my fear to stop me from expressing my First Amendment right.
This might be the first of many to come. It started with Mahmoud, who is a green card, and it might continue with me.
The group came in two groups. In regular civilian attire with their protest gear underneath.
And we just got this new video of Khalil being taken into custody. Khalil, a graduate student, helped lead last.
You know, they got like 30 more. 30 more they're going to bag up. Put him out the country. Put him out the country. And this is another example of black people. Would you look at this man's face? Do you think that him and his people have love for blacks and Hispanics, man? Look at this dude. You really believe he has love for blacks and Hispanics? But you're going to have black people protesting and falling for this shenanigans. You're going to have that. Nobody could be this stupid.
Spring's protests.
The disciplinary action that has been taken against these students is coming far, far too late.
All of this follows the university's announcement yesterday that some students who stormed Hamilton Hall have either been expelled or suspended. The situation was so bad at that time, the university requested help from the NYPD. And again, you might remember the scene. Hundreds of officers entering Hamilton Hall and arresting dozens of people.
So the gentleman arrested by ICE is now urging his supporters to engage in further protests, claiming he's a political prisoner. But what none of his defenders will admit is that if you're a guest in this country, but you're here stirring up trouble for it, you might be overstaying your welcome. And
that's the law. If you have a visa, that's the law. Then look at the flags. You're going to be on a U.S. campus flying those type of flags? It's not going to happen, man. I'm not saying there's not evil in the country. I'm not saying the government is not responsible for the deaths of millions of people abroad. I'm not saying that America doesn't have assassins abroad. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's absolutely stupid and ludicrous to believe that you're going to get away with some of the things you're getting away with while living under the beast. Then you're not going into deep detail as far as what is going on with the finances. You're not doing that. So something has got to give. Something has got to give.
by using the gift of legal U.S. residency to advocate on behalf of America's enemies and create societal unrest, a person's presence here could be a risk to public safety and possibly national security. On top of that, there are disturbing allegations that the particular protester arrested by ICE isn't just some defiant college student. No, in fact, reports indicate he's worked for the United Nations, the British government, and he even holds a UK security clearance at 30 years old. And he was here in America organizing uprisings on multiple college campuses.
Come on, man. Come on. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I got a brother. He actually argued with me about this thing, man. I said, come on, brother.
Not just Colombia where he went, revealing that there could be more to his activities here than meet the eye. And by advocating for further organized resistance against the U.S. government and its president, proponents of his arrest say deportation is justified. Which brings us to the real reason protesters stormed Trump Tower. People who hate America and its allies are heroes of progressives all across this country. And when ICE tries to deport them, they're elevated to martyrdom status. And to many progressive agitators who only care about open borders as well as supporting America's enemies like Iran and Hamas, the idea that one of their own would be deported by their number one enemy, President Trump, is completely unacceptable.
You know, it's going to come a point in this country where, when you watch the news and you see those cafes and you have huge explosions on these same cafes, and you see blood everywhere and limbs and hair and skull pieces, you're gonna have that same situation play itself right out in this country. I mentioned this in the streets yesterday, and people find this thing hard to believe because America is Babylon the Great, and she has not really been touched. And a lot of you go say, "Oh, but what about 9/11? 9/11, America was touched." 9/11 was not America being touched, man. Trust me, I'm not going to expound on it, but those of you who are wise, you know where I'm going. But there's going to be a time in this country where America will be touched, and severely, and the fear and the anguish and the pain and the fear of leaving your apartments or your homes, when that's in your hearts, then you're going to understand what I am talking about. You're going to understand what I'm saying at that point. But right now, you don't understand because a lot of you are spoiled. You are some spoiled people, man. I'm not talking about the believers, but I'm talking about the totally ignorant of our people. Very spoiled. But that's all I had to say. I just wanted to touch on that. But it's just pathetic how people think, man. People just think in the capacity of a damn idiot, man. An absolute idiot. And nobody should be this stupid, man. Nobody should be this stupid. Oh, there's still more on this thing. Let me show you something real quick. On this don't go out, because this is the smartest thing I've seen. Indivisible, another organization helping to mobilize, prompted the protests on blue sky riding. Donald Trump and Elon Musk think this country belongs to them. See that? This is all craziness right here. This is to get you hyped up. This is to put a battery in your back, to get this game to get you motivated in the direction that they're trying to get you to move in. But when you check the writing on the wall and dig deep, it's not what they are saying. It's not. And I'm not a pro-Trumper. I'm not a pro-government. I'm anti-government, if anything. I'm anti-American, if anything. I'm pro-black, but I have common sense. And I can admit when black people are dumb and doing stupid things. The same way I can admit when so-called white people are doing stupid things. But at some point, you got to get the facts. If you want to be angry, but at least have the facts. You got to have the facts. They are taking everything they can get. They are taking everything they can get their hands on and daring the world to stop them. Is that true? Is that true? What news are you watching? What news are you watching that's true, that can back that up? On April 5th, we're taking to the streets nationwide to fight back with a clear message, hands off. You see how crazy that is just now, what we just read? Is that actually true? Now, if you want that to be true, if you really want to speak the truth, historically, they've all been doing that. They've all been doing that. America itself was stolen. You're going to give it back to the North American Indians? You're going to pay back reparations to black people who built the country that white people stole and the children of those white people have benefited off of? You see what I'm talking about? White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt pushed back against the protests, saying they will never work to deter the president from further pushing his agenda. I think that I beg to differ. I think what's going to happen is that something in the country is going to jump off. Some black man is going to get killed. Some white man is going to shoot up a church. Or terrorist activity will jump off, and that's going to hinder this president, this current administration, from doing their job effectively. I believe that the left will prevail on that side, and that America in the end will bottom out, and the right, when the right gets mad and pick up arms, it's going to be a different ballgame, because the right is more organized, more militant, and more in preparation for the fall of America. So, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I speak as a fool, but time will tell. Time will tell, and we'll see in the end. We'll see in the end. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong at all. And just give it some time. Give it some time. Let's see what happens in some time. But it damn sure looks like it's going in that direction. So I'll keep you brothers and sisters abreast on this aspect of what's happening. I see 10 people watching. Do me a favor, show some love and hit that like button. It takes 2 seconds. It doesn't cost a dime to hit the like button, dislike, put a comment, share. Just do me that favor. This beautiful Sunday afternoon, just hit that like button, share, follow, comment, whatever you want to do. Just show some love in regards to that. But I'm gonna go back down and watch some news, do some research, do some reading, and get ready to go back into the workforce tomorrow. I pay taxes, and you might disagree with a lot of things I say or believe, but I am a taxpayer as well as I believe a slave in America, just like you brothers and sisters, and even you white people, if you stumble on this video. But that's how I feel. That's what I see. That's what I report. I'm out.